What's up, y'all? Now, as I transition these rabbit hole videos over to the rabbit hole channel, I feel that I still want to simulcast these videos on my main channel as well as the rabbit hole channel until we've kind of separated that, because it's a big difference between the rabbit hole and the sports world. In the sports world, 80% of what you see is true, and 20% of it is fiction. However, in the rabbit hole, 80% of what you see is fiction, and that's where politics belongs. 80% of what you see is fiction, and only 20% of what you see is true. So I want to transition those videos over the rabbit hole. So those that are interested in that kind of thing, please proceed, continue watching this one. It's simulcast, as I said, for now. It's going to get to a point to where I will keep them completely separate. I'll have the rabbit hole videos in the rabbit hole, and I will keep the great videos about horse racing, about basketball and football and boxing. That's where I like to stay. That's what I focused on in that standpoint, because sports are real. You're rewarded for what you do or what you don't do. There's still some obstacles and political transgressions to overcome, but in sports, you can win on the scoreboard. In politics, it's all different. So that's why I'm keeping it separate, but enough talk. Please enjoy this next rabbit hole video, my analysis of the Democrat debate, round one, and also stay tuned in the rabbit hole for Life is But a Dream. There will be a link to the rabbit hole channel in the description. Please enjoy. What's up, y'all? Now, I know I said the first video I'm going to do on the rabbit hole, or second rather, is going to be Life is But a Dream. But to all those that realize life is but a dream, you got to give me a second here, because you realize that video is going to be tough to squeeze into a short video like I like to make. So let's get on top of it here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this video on the Democratic debates. We're scoring the Democrat debates. Round one, the first 10, next 10 coming tomorrow. But I've been scoring debates ever since, the Bush, Clinton, Perot. I've got to preface this by saying I'm not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am an independent. I have voted for all Democrats on a ticket before. I have voted for all Republicans on a ticket before. I am an independent. I make my own decisions. I'm not controlled by either side. So at that rate, I just like to score debates because I think it's fun. Politics is a game. Anyone that doesn't understand part of life being a dream, understanding that life is but a game as well. So we're going to get into the scoring real quick. Now, I did a bunch of positives and negatives. That's how I do it. I'm going to start with number 10, Ainsley. He kept saying things I couldn't stand. I don't want to get into it, but I got him number 10 with minus 16 points. Number 9, or rather 9, they're both 9, because tied with him at number 9 is Beto O'Rourke. I got Beta in there at 9 too. Minus 16 points for Beta. He just kept sticking his foot in his mouth, in my opinion. Now, 8th, I got Julian Castro. All right. Castro sounded great if he was running for the president of Mexico. However, running for the president of the United States, he gets negative 13 points for me. Next, we got number 7, Spartacus. All right. Now, I actually had Spartacus winning this debate for a little bit there, Cory Booker. But Spartacus, he kept sticking his foot in his mouth, and then he started ass kissing. I just don't like ass kissing. If you're pandering to some demographic or whatever, and it's obvious, you lose a point from that. And if you do it again, and too bad, you lose a couple. And you got into the climate change thing, and you'll always lose 2 points from me on that one. A video's coming up, and trust me, I'm going to come to you all with a video on climate change, or climate crisis as they call it now, and I'm going to break down my 2 cents on that, and it's why it's nothing we can do about it. All right. But moving along right here, At number 6, we got Klobuchar. All right, Klobuchar came up with a minus 6 points for me. She said some good things. She said some bad things. Kind of jumping on the bandwagon. She likes to ride the fence, but she didn't ride it well enough to even break even on the points, so she's got a minus 6. Number 5, Warren. All right, there was a day and time, and I will admit it, that I would have voted for Elizabeth Warren to be the president. However, during the midst of the 2016 election, even in the midterms, she tried to hang on and ride the fence between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. But Elizabeth Warren, you know what she eventually did? She just decided to go crazy. However, I'm still going to give her a chance. I'm still going to say, well, maybe she just went crazy because she thinks that, crazy is the new black. But we'll give her a chance here. So she came out there. She made some good points. She made some points that I think she was just kind of acting crazy. Or maybe she's just really not as good as I thought she was. She's a fighter. She's feisty. But that doesn't mean just because you're feisty that you're going to win. And so I ended up with Elizabeth Warren at a minus 4. Now, 4, de Blasio. I really got to say, I honestly thought de Blasio did way better than I thought he was going to do. I didn't think de Blasio, I thought he'd probably be number 10 or maybe number 15 out of 20, out of 10. Just he'd be so terrible that people that didn't say anything or the moderators would have outranked him. But hey, I got to give it to de Blasio. He opened up a little bit more of a side that I haven't seen in him before. Yeah, he has some sort of common sense, even though it doesn't really seem like it. But I guess in New York, you got to do things that are unconventional because you're in the biggest city in the country. I don't know. But he did a little bit better, or a lot better, I should say, than I thought he was going to do. And he ended up de Blasio scoring 4th with minus 1 point. Now, number 3, I've got Delaney. All right. He's another one. I had him winning, and then he lost his lead. And then he took the lead again, and then he lost his lead again. He's been watching too much fake news, in my opinion. But, he's got a lot of good business principles and sense, and that's how we got to where we are right now, is because the business world and the economics of the country are all screwed up. So, he maintained some points there, and he ended up even. He ended up even. Number 2, I got Tulsi. All right. Another one. I've heard Tulsi speak before a couple years, 3, 4, maybe 5 years back. I heard Tulsi speak, and I said, she'd make a good candidate for president. I don't know if she'd actually win, but she'd make a good candidate for president. I think she has the possibility of making a good president. She's actually the only one who's actually been in a real war, so she understands what that's about. I don't know if she really understands the economics and how we really actually got to where we were at that point, but she's been on the ground, so you got to give Tulsi some credit there. She's actually done a whole lot more than a lot of these other people would have done for this country. So even though I thought she would win this one, I expected her to kind of go away with it. She ended up second and really didn't do too much to impress me. She ended up with a +1. She didn't stick her foot in her mouth a whole lot, which is what killed a lot of these people. And they just said a bunch of crazy stuff and a bunch of fear mongering and a whole bunch of, we're going to stop the universe from working the way it's supposed to work by taxing people for carbon and that kind of crazy stuff. But, she still ended up with the +1 and not getting the win. The win went to a guy I've never even know too much about, Tim Ryan. And hey, I gave him the win, but I am in no way a Tim Ryan fan. He said a lot of stupid stuff, I thought. He ended up with the win anyway, point-wise. I'm not going to take it away from him because I score these debates in the moment as I'm doing it, what I feel, just like the people sitting in the crowds clicking away with their little clickers and they judge that. I do my own thing. But Tim Ryan, I ended up coming up with him with the winner here. He ended up with a positive 4 points. Now, I must say, out of all the debates I've scored, these are some of the worst scores, and this is probably absolutely the worst scoring average of all of them. All the debates. This is terrible. This is really terrible for these people that they got to this point. I think Obama and Romney was a hotly contested one as I scored it, and the Republican first Republican debate, they had a whole bunch of guys up there. I had Trump as the winner. I think he ended up with a +7, but they were spreading the questions out a lot more there. Um, and like I said, I've seen a lot of these. The Ross Perot, I had him winning over Bill Clinton and over uh, uh, Bush. Bush won. I even had what's his name? Sanders. He debated a good debate. I had him against Clinton. Oh, in that first Democrat, he had 47. He ended up with a +47. He's a good talker, but he ended up with a +47 for me. I had Clinton like 7, and the other guy West like 6. A couple guys -1 or so. But anyway, yeah. I like to score the debates. I think everybody should do that. I think you should all grab a pen and paper and watch the debate and score it and see what you really think, and score it up and see which one appeals to you the most. So, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this sort of content. But we're going to go deeper into the rabbit hole than just politics, because as we know, politics is only at the top of the rabbit hole. I mean, way deeper in the rabbit hole, beyond the politics, is the real of the real. And that's where we're really going in the rabbit hole. But if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. And, I'm going to make a little another something for this debate coming up tomorrow. But stay tuned. It's still coming before the rest of the rabbit hole videos, which I have planned. But I still want to bring you Life is But a Dream.